winter. There's a ton of wintertime fragrances out there, and it's the best season to be a fragrance enthusiast. You can start wearing all the warm and cozy fragrances. A ton more that I would add on to this list, but these are the fragrances I know I'm going to be wearing multiple times this winter. Now, whatever you've been told about winter fragrances, they don't all have to be warm and spicy. They can be fresh as ice. Hawass ice is absolutely breathtaking in the cold. When it's below freezing out and you wear Hawass ice, there's something magical that takes place. It's almost like a frozen lemon, apple, bergamot, plum mix. It has some spices in here for those enthusiasts of spice, but it's mostly a sweet, musky, fruity sweet, and very citrus fresh fragrance. It sticks around all day, and it's definitely an all-season kind of fragrance. It works wonders in the spring and the summertime, but in the wintertime, if you have not tried it, I would encourage you to. I want to talk about Citrat Boisé Intense. This one has a fruity aspect in it, but it mainly focuses on a nice, deep, rich woods. Touch of vanilla in the base, nice leathery accord in here to give it a real depth. White sandalwood really comes in very nice and creamy. Patchouli and oak moss really make this fragrance provocative, but the black currant and the jasmine really freshen it up a lot to give it a nice, pleasant aspect. There is oud in this one. It comes across a little pungent, but not too bad. I don't think it's overdone. If anything, it's just going to come across as a bit more woody tone. This one is kind of similar to Creed Aventus. Alright, it's time to talk about this masterpiece. Ginger, woodsy notes, bourbon, vanilla, this warm, seductive animal. This is Azzaro the Most Wanted Parfum. And there's nothing else to say about this one, but it's warm, seductive, and it's got a creamy vanilla dry down with this excellent woods in here, just very soft, pleasant. The ginger in the top really comes across very fresh and almost sparkling. It is pretty sweet. It's got that designer kind of sweet quality that you would come to find in a popular designer fragrance, but I think it's done with such class, and this one gets heavily touted online, so it's a very well done fragrance here. One of the best. Great performance and just an excellent overall smell. The next one up is Nichonne's Annie, and this is a ginger, bergamot, pink pepper with some fruity notes coming from black currant and this nice benzoin vanilla kind of character. It's a creamy sandalwood, cedarwood dry down, which is just divine. You got a patchouli, ambergris, and musk to really richen it up and give it almost a seductive nature. There is a rose character in here to really floral it up a little bit, but the spices from the cardamom really kind of balance that through, so it's not overdone in the floral department. Ginger and pink pepper really come across very fresh, spicy in the top, but it's overall pretty fresh in the top, and it's not overly done with the spice. It's mainly a vanilla benzoin kind of fragrance, and it's just absolutely delightful. This is a cuddling monster. If you like social outings, definitely give this a shot. This next one is a very warm, dominant, kind of smoky kind of fragrance, but this comes from Lalique, and it's white and black. So this one has a lot of lavender. It's rich in the cardamom, and it's got a pink pepper nuance in here, but there's 3 different notes that are giving this kind of smoky aspect to it, coming from olibanum, elemi resin, and some Tulu balsam in the base. There's definitely a surplus of vanilla in this fragrance and nice cardamom richness, but this one is very familiar to Parfums de Marly Layton. Same kind of seductive nature with that one, and just overall appeal. This stuff lasts for a long time, and every winter I love wearing this stuff because it just works in the winter. Something about it just absolutely works. Ton of ambroxan in here as well to give it a real nice projection and power. I would say if you're going out on a date or if you're in close quarters, I would say go easy on the sprays on this one. It's not something that you would spray on 12 times before you go and meet somebody. It's definitely got that power. La Nuit de l'Homme Le Parfum. This is a peppery kind of fragrance with a heavy emphasis on fruity aspects, mainly a lavender fragrance, and a rich, nice base coming from patchouli, vetiver, and vanilla. There's a touch of a labdanum kind of character in here to give it a real nice maturity, real nice depth here. The fruity aspects really freshen up the whole fragrance to a tremendous amount. It's very similar to the original La Nuit de l'Homme, but a little bit more seductive. They removed the cardamom in this and they replaced it with a nice peppery accord. Fruity notes are ever present, and the vanilla is very sweet in here, so it comes across as this nice sweetener to the fruity aspects. Overall, this is one of my favorite going out fragrances. I used to wear this stuff on dates or when I go out to a nice bar. I remember one occasion I went to a nice jazz club when I was wearing this. Very good for the occasion. I was going to add the original, but I decided to opt for Lattafa's Vintage Radio. This is inspired by a Paragon by Initio, and I've been wearing a ton of that for reasons unknown. This is a lavender sage fragrance with a beautiful plum note and this nice Palo Santo and sandalwood kind of mix in here to give it a real nice creamy woody kind of smell. There is some depth here with that oud, which gives it such an elegance, really. There is a black pepper note in here to give it a little bit of spice, but it's a pretty fresh woody fragrance with a heavy emphasis on the fruity aspects. This stuff lasts a lot longer than my original one does. It's sweet, it's seductive, and it works wonders in the winter time. This is a perfect example of pulling out some fragrances for winter that just are meant for the season. I would say give it a shot. Lattafa is a pretty affordable house, and it has a nice sophistication smell to it, and you smell like a $300 fragrance. Le Male Parfum is also one I really am excited to wear this winter, rich in the cardamom department. This is a lavender-based fragrance with this nice vanilla tone in here. It's a very sweet fragrance. This one has the note of iris, which gives it kind of this floral, powdery kind of touch to it. This is a woody dry down fragrance with this nice spices added in here to really balance it out. It's basically, if you are familiar with the Le Male DNA, take the original Le Male, add a little bit more spice to it, and add that beautiful iris character. Integrate those pretty well, and you get this. This is the favorite of the line from me. I tried the Elixir a lot, and it's very sweet. I will still wear that one, but on occasions. This one is going to get used a lot more than the Elixir, for a good reason too. You don't have to worry about longevity with this one. It lasts for a long time, and it smells just incredibly well. A fragrance I'm going to be wearing a lot is Cayenne Classic. This is a Diorum Intense, kind of inspired by fragrance. It's got a rich cocoa-y kind of iris, and it's got this nice woody approach too. So in the base you have vetiver and cedarwood, which is the main aspects of this fragrance. In the top and the mid, it's mainly a lavender fragrance with this beautiful iris character, smooth, rich, and this thing is so cheap. It's criminally good. If you have not tried this one, I would highly encourage you to. It's kind of that DNA, so if you do not like that DNA, I would say stay away from it, but it's got my blessing as one of the best, I think. Let me know your favorite wintertime fragrances in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching.